Welcome to the dojo. In this particular video, I want to talk to you about your WordPress dashboard. Kind of give you a general overview of how the dashboard is laid out and some of the things that you can do right when you first log in. In order to do that, we need to first log in. So there's a couple ways that you can do that. First, you can just go to your domain where you've installed WordPress, and if it's a new install, you probably have the default theme already in place. And if you scroll down in the sidebar, you'll see under this meta tag there's a link to log in. So that's one way you can log in, but if for some reason you don't have a link to log in on your site on your front page, you can actually get there by going to your domain /wpadmin. This will redirect you right to a login screen, and you just need to enter in the credentials that you created when you set up your WordPress install. Click Login. Great. Now this is your WordPress dashboard. Now there's a few areas. I'm going to kind of break this up into some separate areas, and then we'll go through each one individually. First of all, you have your header. You have this menu navigation area right here. You have the work area of the dashboard. And then at the bottom you have a footer. So let's just go through each of these items real quick. First of all, you have your header, which has the name that you gave your site when you installed it. This is actually a link to your website. So if you've made a change in the dashboard, you've created a post or whatever, you can actually click on that and it'll take you right here to your front page. So just by clicking on that. If we move over in the header, we also have this little drop down here. This is just kind of a quick link to things that you're going to use on a frequent basis, such as new posts, go to your drafts, new pages, you want to upload media, or if you want to moderate your comments. You also have a link to your profile page, which we'll be looking at in another video, and you can of course log out. Also, you have hanging off of this header these hanging tabs, but these are going to be on almost every screen. At least help is on every single screen, and screen options will be on some of them so that you can make adjustments to the screen, but we'll look at that in just a second. Also, now we have the menu over here. And there's a few things that I want to point out. Of course, this is a navigation to pretty much everything that's within your WordPress install. So editing posts, uploading media, creating pages, all of your comments, anything that's specific to your appearance and plugins. I mean, it's all right here in this menu system. If you'll notice that on each of these, as I hover over, you'll see this little drop-down arrow. This actually expands to further links within your install. So under Posts, we have a few options. Under Media, we have a couple options, and so on and so forth through all the rest of these. If there isn't an actual drop-down arrow, it means it's just going to bring you to one page and there's no other options but that particular page. But almost all of them, other than comments, have a drop-down. So that's how you can quickly navigate to different areas if you want to see what's available. Another really neat feature about this menu is this little arrow right here. It's in two spots. If you press this, it'll actually toggle from being icons and text to just icons. Now, it does give you more screen space, so that's kind of nice. But actually what this really does, which is really important, is it actually gives you one click to everything in your install. Instead of over here having to click open arrow and then click add new or categories, when this is depressed, toggled this way, you could actually just hover over and then click categories or hover over. And it'll actually open up these little menus for you. So it's just one click. In fact, this is how I generally leave my menu. As I've gotten familiar with the icons, it's easier to navigate quickly to something without having it opened up. Plus, once you get all of these opened up, they can get kind of unruly, and you have to navigate around. By keeping them depressed and collapsed, it's easy to navigate to different areas. Next area we want to look at is your dashboard. This is just an overview of pretty much everything in your website. So you have all of your content that you can, which are links to those different areas and sections. It tells you what theme you're using and how many widgets and what version of WordPress you are currently on. If you weren't using the most updated version, an alert would be up here, but it would also tell you here with a link so that you can upload. Also gives you a link to change your theme. You have your most recent comments so that you can approve them, unapprove them, mark them as spam or trash, or do anything that you would like to with them with your most recent comments. If anybody is linking to your website and Google Blog Search notices that, it will tell you right here. You also have a plugin section that tells you the most recent, newest, and recently updated plugins. Going back up to the top, you have this quick press, which is a really simple way to update, create a post right from your dashboard. Just give it a title, content, tags, and click publish, and that'll go live to your site, or you can save it to edit later as a draft. This will actually show all recent drafts that you currently have. And you also have the WordPress blog to keep up to date on WordPress news, and of course other WordPress news as it comes up. Now, what's nice about this is you can stylize this any way that you like. You can drag items just by grabbing the title and moving them over to a different area, so you can move them around in any way that you like to get the perfect setup for you. You can also minimize them just like we did with these menus over here by clicking these arrows, and that can collapse them. By using screen options, this tab that we talked about here, we see we can actually hide any of these items if we don't want them, if we don't care about other news or recent drafts, or maybe you're not going to use the quick press, plugins. We can see that that actually hides all of those areas from your dashboard. You can also change the number of columns as well. So there's a lot of options here that you can really customize this dashboard as your own. And finally, there's a footer area, and this is just a quick link to WordPress, the codecs on WordPress, so that you can, if you want to get into more of the nitty-gritty of WordPress, and of course some feedback forums that you can post to. Also gives you a link to your version, and if you, or at least a title to your version, and if it's not updated, it will also link to upgrade. So that's your WordPress dashboard. I hope that helps a little bit and gets your feet just a little wet as you get into publishing content on your own WordPress website. Thank you very much.